This is Football Thoughts. Red God TV.
Ipswich 1, Manchester United 1. The beginning of the Ruben Amorim, aka Omarion era. A lot of pros and cons, and I'm going to start with the cons. To play the way Ruben wants us to play, um, we need to sell a lot of players. And the cons of this game was Garnacho, Rashford, and Bruno Fernandes. That triangle is not self-sufficient enough to make us progress attackingly as a team. Ruben has set up the 3-4-2-1 formation in a form of when we do not have the ball, we track back. The fullbacks track back. We set up with almost five at the back, but it's kind of like three. But with that setup, when we get the ball, we create these triangles where we can hold position longer. But the problem is that some of these triangles we don't have enough technical gifted players to maintain these triangles. That's why we lose possession. For example, Garnacho and Dalot and Ericsson tried to play this triangle in this game, but it didn't work because one, Ericsson doesn't have the mobility to keep up with the triangle, and two, Garnacho is just technically ungifted and just shit that he can't even seem to he can't even seem to operate in this new setup. And I don't blame him because he's only came from international break and he didn't have training. And I'm surprised that he started. Rashford and Garnacho in the Bruno Fernandes triangle, it doesn't work also because all three of them are not technically gifted. They don't have enough skill to hold up possession to build up play. Rashford, although he scored the goal, that's all he's good for, scoring goals. That's anything else in the game, he disappeared. He was an invisible man. Thank God he didn't dye his fucking mohawk, because it would have been a long day. Him and Bruno are trying to link up with Garnacho. It's just not going to work because Rashford is not a one-touch player. He doesn't build up play. He can't manipulate the ball, and he doesn't have enough basic level amount of fundamentals to even drop deep in a system where he'll have to drop deep as a false nine sometimes. Jay-Z, Joshua Zirkzee coming on with Hoyland. He did a better job linking up play than Rashford. But again, this starting lineup is based upon one training session, and everyone in the starting lineup was available for that training session. Some players didn't go on international breaks. So they're the only ones who are familiar with Ruben's new style of play. Therefore, we cannot judge him based off this one performance. And I see a lot of fake ass, these fatherless lighties, trying to talk shit about how we're supposed to play and all sorts of things when these guys haven't even played any level of football in their lives other than one touch with their mates at school. Honestly, one of our best players in this game was Dalot and Diallo. Like them two as fullbacks is very good. Probably an improvement in this team. One more con. Ericsson and Casemiro. Wrong start. We've always said this that Cas needs to play with another Casemiro. Who is Ugarte? But Ugarte is more of a cleanup man. Cas is also a cleanup man, but he can pass. He can switch up, play progressive play. Sometimes the winning pass, he'll make it. Ugarte doesn't have that in his tank. Ericsson is more technical than Ugarte, but he's not he's not as mobile as Manuel Ugarte. Now we come to the pros of this game. Ruben Amorim has successfully implanted a seed in all these players to play his style of football. That's why I admire him for starting with his normal formation off the rip, making the subs that he made off the rip. It just shows that when he made the Hoyland and Joshua Zirkzee sub, I knew that this manager has got cojones. He's not like Ten Hag who will wait until the 77th minute to switch up the play when things are not working out for him. He's a manager that will change it up when needed to. Because Ipswich were playing very well, and that's only because they're more structured, because they've had the same coach from pre-season. And anyone knows that if a coach comes in mid-season, it's not gonna work off the rip like that. It needs time, it needs process. The players need to train on a preseason to ingrain the system in their brains, in their football brains. One more pro, the way we held possession, better than the way we held possession of Ten Hag. But for me, it was so satisfying to know that we can be more patient on the ball. Another pro, last one, the fullbacks. I've mentioned it, but the way they come back when we have the ball on our half is very impressive. The way they move up front when we have the ball on the opposition's half is also very impressive. Like Amaran knows how to use his fullbacks and utilize them, and that's what we're going to be using, when we attack. Because when we attack, we're kind of attacking with 5 players, and that's what led to Ahmad's goal. Ahmad got the ball, he ran through, and then you saw Garnacho, Dalot, and Rashford running in the box with Bruno on the outside of the box. But it's like Casemiro and Ericsson are remain disciplined to stay within that other side of the pitch so that we still have another 5 players to defend, which is brilliant. Brilliant structure. Now, the result wasn't ideal, but it is a start to something very special. And I trust this manager, and I understand football well enough to know that it is a process. Not everything can happen overnight, but it's a good start. I was happy with the performances. We could have done better, but that's also bound to the manager not knowing his players because he's come in mid-season. So he needs time. He needs time, like any other new manager. And yeah, man, let's trust the process, guys. Record TV out.